All right, welcome to the February Sales Challenge. Now, my name is Dan, and over the last 36 months or so, we created a sales process that has done over $10 million in sales. And last year, we did a little over $11 million in cash collected. This year, we are trending to double that. That's the goal. And the whole purpose of this particular, I guess you can say, challenge is to vlog the new sales process. And I want to share my screen to kind of showcase kind of my thoughts are. So, what is it? This is my approach to creating a new sales process that's different than our current multi six figure, six, six figure per month sales process. Okay. Now, to be transparent, we have done more than seven figures per month for the last since at the time of this, it's February 1st. And so we have done seven figures, $1 million a month for the last 5 months consecutively. And in January and I think December, we did somewhere in the neighborhood of $4 million cash collected. So why this? Why this? Why now? Okay. Um, Here's why. The candid approach to and why this is, okay. Number one, our cost per new client is rising with our current sales process. Okay. And if you want to follow along throughout the journey, I'm just kind of documenting my thoughts. If you want to follow along, all you have to do is subscribe and put on the notifications for when a video goes live. I will be doing these recaps probably once a week. I think if I need to increase the frequency, you know, I will. And if you have particular questions you want me to answer, I'm only thinking through what I'm thinking through. But if you want me to answer anything particular to your situation on how you're growing your business, feel free to drop that in the comments, and I'll probably put a part of it into the video specifically. So our current new client is rising with their current sales process. Okay. Number two is we have been running this same sales process for 36 months consecutively. Okay. Three, we want to we want to increase speed of sales velocity. Okay. Now, here's what I'll tell you something. Okay. Before I jump into this, our business primarily is almost like 60% is back end revenue and 40% is new business, maybe even less than that. Now, after 36 months, if your business is still heavily focused on front end new customer acquisition, that means you're not keeping customers. And that's a big problem. And I'll say that, um, just because I've just seen so many businesses, and we help a lot of tax strategists scale their businesses, and we see that the majority of their stuff is from current business, very little new business, and that means that the business has been around for a very long time, which means profit is so good. Whereas contrast, I see a lot of agencies or other people that are marketing really, they're really front end heavy. And for them for this particular thing, I'm trying to figure out a way so we can acquire more new customers at a lower cost. Put simply, okay. And when I say increase the speed of sales velocity, I mean I want to go from 15, right? I want to go from like 15 new units a month, which is 15 new clients a month, to 50, right? If I can do that, then our business technically would be what? Let me see, just do the math. Let me just do the math here. Divided by 15 equals what? Usually does math. Okay. And so if we did just as shy of 11 million last year, and all I do is 3x the amount of clients we get per month, then that means our business would technically 3x. So if nothing else changes, all else being equal, if we just 3x the new clients, then we would essentially do that, right? And lastly is truthfully, we are our current marketing process, the return on investment in 30 days is getting smaller and smaller, which means like the cash flow is getting tighter and tighter. And that's a problem, right? That's a problem. And so why now is why not? Our current sales process has a full team on it, and basically it does pretty much the same numbers every month. Meaning, I'm almost, to be candid, like me and the founder David are really not so much involved in that process anymore. Like, and we've almost detached ourselves from that because the team has done such a great job of systematizing this process, which most of you guys, I would say, like, um, we do multiple six figures per month. Just doing this process, just figuring out this right here would be amazing, right? Just figuring out this right here would be amazing. And so I guess I'll break it down by how I'm thinking about it. Okay. Everything I do, okay, it always starts with what's the target? How do I know it's a successful sales challenge? How do I know that? Well, what's the target? I'm going to go for one new business client. Okay. If I can get, watch this, if I can get one new business client through this new sales process that's different than our current process, it's something worth investing in. Okay. And then why now? Well, also, it's only 30 days or 28 days, 29 days. You could do a lot in 29 days. You just have to kind of set the target, set the hook, right? If I can get one, I can get 10, right? And so it starts with the target. It all starts with the target. Everything starts with the target. What's the target? What's the target? What's the target? Okay. Now, how much will I make? Now, for me, I'm not so much excited about one new business client because how much will we make? One new business client equals about $15,000 to us. 15K. Okay. Now, that's not a lot of money in the context of what we're doing. Like, yeah, $15,000, but it doesn't make a difference. Really, what I'm trying to do is proof of concept for the next 30 days, is proof of concept, right? And so then I'm going to go back and start with the target. All right. And I'm just going to do a hypothesis. Okay. A hypothesis. And I'm going to use Gemini, ChatGPT, and Acquisition.com's AI assistant from Alex Ramosi to come up with a somewhat of a number, right? A number. And so really what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at this and say, okay, well, how much effort do I need to do and what do I need to do to achieve this one new business client for $15,000? Now, what do we offer? I'll put what we offer. What we offer. So we offer three core promises. Three core promises. So it's the what you do, right? And who you do it for. One, we help you build your high value tax planning package that you can sell for 20 plus $1,000 a year, right? Two, we give you the proven multi-million dollar marketing process. Okay. Now, this right here, we've spent multiple millions of dollars, and I can stake my claim on this, and nobody else has the same results, not even close. Why? Because they don't do it at the scale we do. So, and then number three, we give them the technology to semi automate the sales process, or not necessarily the sales process, the fulfillment and delivery of these tax plans. Okay. So this is what we offer, right? What's the target? What do we offer? Now, what's the math? Okay. What's the math? What's the hypothetical math? Okay. Now, what's the math here? Now, for us, I guess before the math, I'm gonna do my theory on the funnel, right? And I'm gonna go through. I already kind of preloaded ChatGPT to give me funnel thought processes, so I'm gonna kind of go through there and then just download it, copy it, and paste it here. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this and pop right back in with the ChatGPT kind of um, thought process, so that we can look at pros and cons to each sales process. Okay, so now I got myself kind of the sales process that I want to use, or at least a thinking a thought process to be able to work through. Okay, so what sales process do I use? And I told ChatGPT to come up with a sales process and all the funnels that we can leverage. And so this is kind of what it came up with. I'll add my own sauce to it and what I think about it. But it says it's scored on four dimensions: speed to cash, cash per conversion, complexity, authentics, audience sophistication required. I mean, how smart are they? How smart is the audience? Okay. So I guess it gave me this, right? Speed to implementation, speed to implementation. I think that's probably another one, speed to implementation. Is speed for Book a Call Funnel is a 5 out of 5 as they say it, and I agree with that. Cash per conversion, I don't know if I would give it I don't know if I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Complexity is low, which good. High intent, high ticket. Okay, so this right here already tells me like I already like these odds in my favor. Um, Pros is its fastest path to cash. Reason being is because now I can talk to people. And this is me kind of thinking through, right? So before I even set the targets, I'm setting the sales process. I'm going to say, okay, well, once I get the sales process, then I'm going to go back into ChatGPT and put a hypothetical from top to bottom, give me the marketing numbers I should be looking at, right? Because now I just need to know what my are after this process here. So now I'm looking at this and say, okay, what's the this is fast past the math money. It's clean math. It works best for the 100K buyers. Now in this case, I already know who our ideal client is. Um, Probably in the next video, I'll do a deep dive on how I found out our best customer, found out our core marketing message. But this is all just kind of setting the frame and setting today's intention is really just getting the research in and also getting the intention in and making a decision on the path. So it's really about making a decision on the path today is about that. Everything else, like from here moving forward, is just following one path until completion. So irregardless if it's right or wrong, 29 days from now or 28 days from now, we will be able to say, hey, this was a right process, a bad process, and reason why we can just look at back and just do a post-mortem as they call it, right? It's easy to quality control. Cons is it takes strong positioning. I don't think that's completely true. I don't it requires disqualification. So this is I think is actually a benefit. So it requires a disqualification. I think that's actually a benefit. And I don't think that volume is lower. Here's what I think it is. Um, Effort per person is higher. So meaning like you need people. So it's going to require human beings to talk to human beings one on one. So it's like low leverage per unit of time. Okay? So like if I have an hour, I can do this where I can spread the message one to a bunch of people in this book of call funnel, I can only do so one to one. So the leverage per time is really low here. And I think that's the biggest cons as to why I'm like, it says the primary weapon for the next 30 days, but let's keep going. Webinar funnel. Speed is good. I think speed, I think this is a little bit cash per conversion. I don't know if I would put it all the way up there. Cash per conversion complexity, I would say the webinar funnel is probably one of the harder ones. Best for educated but hesitant buyers. Yeah, that's true. Pros scales attention. That's true. Every major person you've ever seen does a webinar. So does a presentation pitch. Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, they all do presentation styles. So one to many. So this is the gold standard right here. If you can figure out the webinar funnel, That's great. By the way, this is our main funnel that did $10 million. Okay. So now you know, I just shared that with you. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out what's the next funnel. Okay. It takes it requires the show up, requires a follow up engine, requires a really good webinar presentation, a really good headline, right? It requires a really good headline or hook to attract customers. It does require. This is probably the most complex, I would say. Well, not necessarily. It's up there. It's up there, but that's the one we used. Event funnel. This is also in combination with this one right here, this $10 million funnel. Now, this one right here, we've done plenty of times. We've tried this one. We have tried this a few times. But we are B2B, meaning we go after business owners. We don't go after newbies that are trying to figure out their life, right? We go after business owners. And so for that reason, it's a little bit more challenging to have event funnels. Now, this could be live event or this could be I think I have a live event. No, no. This could be a live event in person. So we actually used to do this one in person. So our first 2023, the only way people can buy and understand what we do was that they had to come to an in-person event in Dallas, Texas. Okay, so we had one every quarter. Yeah, every quarter, and we would load it up until the quarter. We would sell as many tickets as we can, and then boom, people would show up to the room, and we would sell. I think it was $20,000 package at the time. And so we kept doing that, kept doing that, kept doing that, and that kickstarted it until we did the live virtual event. Okay. And that's somewhat similar to the challenge fund, I would say. Speed, I would not give it high speed. It's not that high. And complexity, I think it's pretty up there. Pros, it does build massive authority. It really does. Strong closes rate, high average, heavy prep. 100%. I would say this is really, really part. Um, and this right here, I would highlight this and really think about this a few times because an event is a freaking undertaking. It is tough, okay? It is tough. And this works if you've done this plenty of times or you have some counsel on this that's really, really understanding of this. Like for an example, we have done well over probably 100 events at this point, and I can tell you yeah, it's almost second nature now, but man, if I had to do it from scratch, I would be completely out of it. Okay. Challenge funnel. Again, I think this one's probably the hardest one for me. The reason being is because we've tried this 3 times. We tried this 3 times with limited success. Here's why. Um, no, this is not too slow. No, not that. It's really it's good for engagement, good for education, good for conversion. Um, it does attract a lower tier client. It does attract someone that's like a not a business owner per se. Okay, it attracts a lower person, if you will, in that sense. Like we are a little bit higher on the market, trying to go to the higher market, and typically a challenge funnel doesn't work very well with them. And so yeah, another thing is you need to have a solid marketing message. If you have some like confusing marketing message or it's not very clear, my goodness, is it painful. Um, you need to constantly be engaging and showing up every day and honestly this one's kind of tough. This one's probably the toughest one. And the cash, you see like the cash it's just been the toughest one. The low ticket funnel, meaning like a um low ticket like something that's less than maybe like 97 bucks, like a book, a free plus shipping book, or maybe like a small course, something like that, or even I would say 997, right? Um, this right here. it does take long. And I would say the complexity of this is you have to kind of get it right. Like you have to kind of get it right. And cash is it's hard because you have to spend a lot of money to make it sense of it. You have to have something already pre-built. You have to have good, you have to be, I'm gonna put here, it's like hard because you need to know copy, you need to know the offer works, you need to know how to deliver, you need to know how to run ads. I mean, this one right here is probably the most difficult one is and reason why I'm like, ugh. As someone that told me that they did the low ticket funnel and that was their best performing funnel to go to $4 million a month. And I'm like, oh man, I wish I knew how to do that. I wish I knew how to do that. If I did know how to do that, I would totally be doing that. But for us, it's every time we spend more to acquire low ticket funnel people, it just becomes much more challenging to scale because our return on investment just keeps going down, down, down. And then number six is the community funnel. So this is like Facebook group or school group, right? Or something to that degree, like a little community where people come together, like, hey, I'm gonna bring you into this community. It's a free community, and then I'm gonna, try to get you on a phone call to some degree and present you an offer, right? So it's another way to kind of do a book a call funnel. And a webinar, an event, and all that stuff. You can do all that inside the community, but I don't know. It's in 2026. I don't know if I want to do that, right? Simply because the return on time, I'll just put return on time. I'll just put return on time and effort is too much of a risk, right? And so for me, I say for us, it's starting with the book a call funnel. Now, the reason why I say book a call funnel is because it's simple. I can kind of get my idea out there quick, right? Speed to implementation to market, and then speed to um, feedback. So I really want to know what the marketplace is saying. And so the best way to do it is literally just ask people to jump on a call and ask them questions and then find out what they want. And based on that, that's the best way I would see it. And so if that's the case, now I just happen to know the numbers for most of these things. So I would say, okay, so if I know that my goal is to get one customer, right? If I can get one high ticket customer or mid ticket customer in the next 28 days or next 28 days, this is a successful action. Now, after this, I might change this goal because I see how much effort is required. And I'm like, wait a minute. I got a lot more research I can knock. I can run this bad boy up. Okay. For $15,000. Okay, so $15,000 doesn't seem like a lot, but it is in the sense that if I can do it once, I can do it. I can do it again, and if I can do it again, I can do it multiple times. And so here's what I'll start with the hypothetical math. So I'll go with marketing effort. So for me, what assets do I have? So I'm going to go back to this. What assets do we have? Okay. Number one, we have a customer list. Okay. Number two, we have a social media page. All right. We have a Facebook group. We have testimonials. We have what else? What assets do we have? We have some liquid cash. That's the last thing I want to use, by the way. I don't want to use the cash unless I absolutely have to, but if I have to, and meaning I want speed. The only reason why I would have the liquid cash there is because I want speed. Okay. And that's really the whole purpose there. Now, if I only can use cash, then I'm going to show you what I'm thinking through as far as the cash is concerned. Okay. Because I just need to pull, I need to push, I pull revenue close and push payments far. So just think about that thought process. I want to push revenue as close as possible and push payments as far as possible so I can get money and then um after I get the money, I can pay off my debt, whatever debt that looks like. But essentially, that's what I want to do. Okay. We have testimonials. We have AI that we can use. I have a Facebook page, Facebook um, page, right? That I can tap into. Um, and so really that's what I do, right? And so now what assets do I have? I say, okay, um, what's my unique selling proposition? What is my core marketing message? Now, in the next video, I will probably go through my core marketing message and break down that whole like how do I come up with my marketing message? How do I come up with my funnel copy? All using AI because I want to use AI for the majority of this stuff, this thinking. But yeah, so this is where I go right here, and this is kind of the part here that I have. So if I just do the math, okay, I'm gonna do the math. What's the hypothetical math? I'm gonna do the math on this. Okay, what's my hypothetical math? Because the math determines the path. The math determines the path. I'm gonna reiterate that. Math determines the path. Okay. Now, I know some of these numbers. So I'm going to say, let's say hypothetically, I want to get one customer. Okay. And then one customer is, I need 10 qualified people that I presented this to. Okay. And I'm just going to do the essentially like a 10%, 10%, 10%. So I would just go backwards on 10%, right? So it's going to give me ability to go back. So I'm going to go 10, 100 people who booked and who showed up, who showed up to an appointment. Okay, I think that's kind of high. I would probably say I think that's kind of high. Showed interest, right? Let me back into this here because I usually do it backwards. I do it this way: 10,000 divided by, let's say I can get a cost per lead by $50. Okay, and let's say I have $10,000 to spare, and I'll show you how to find the $10,000. So let's say I divide that by 50. But if I'm going for 10,000, I might as well just go for 20. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Anyways, so I'm gonna say it's costing me about $50 to get a lead, right? So I'm go 10,000 divided by 50. It's gonna be 200 leads, 200 leads. Now, out of 200 leads, I want I want at least 20% to book a call. I want at least 20% to book a call. So I'm going to divide that, or I'm going to multiply that by 2.2. Okay. So I'm going to multiply that by the percentage by zero point 0.2 is going to give me about 40 appointments. Okay. So if you're doing the math, that's 10,000 divided by 40. It's $250 per booked call. That's amazing, by the way. It's about 250 bucks per booked call. Okay. Out of 40 appointments, I'm going to hypothetically shoot for 70% show up. I'm going to shoot for 60% show up rate. So I'll do times zero point 0.6, and that's going to give me how many people will show up. Okay. Times zero point 0.6. It's going to give me about 24 appointments. Okay. And out of show up, and then out of 24 appointments, I expect about 50% of those people to be qualified. 24 appointments qualified. Okay. Now, qualified is a number. It's not like, oh, they don't like me, so they're not qualified. Oh, they don't have the right mindset, so they're not qualified. No, it's an actual number. It's like how much income are they making? Are they financially qualified to buy your thing? Do they have the need to buy your thing? Like, are they looking for this particular thing? If they are, then it's a sales problem, not a marketing problem. And sometimes business owners don't know how to differentiate the two. So let's say I get half of those people be qualified. That tells me, by the way, qualified showed up. Okay. So that tells me, by the way, that our marketing is still not good, because if it was really good, I would have more qualified people. I'd have like 70% of the people I talk to would be qualified, or we're allowing people on the calendar who are not qualified. And so we almost need to go a little harder here, right? We need to get a little more aggressive when say you can't sit with us, okay? And hypothetically, if I get 12 qualified leads, I think I can close about 20% of them. Let's say, okay, 20% equal to 2.4, but we're going to round it down. Closed deals. All right. Now, two closed deals times um, it's $15,000 for the contract. But if I can just at least get 7,500 bucks out of each one, okay, up front, and then I'll finance the rest, meaning they pay me 7,500 bucks right there, and then after we set them up on a payment plan to pay the rest of the 7,500 bucks, I'd be happy because I'm looking at the closed deals, not the cash. The cash I can fix, I can, maneuver and figure out, but I want to get customers right now. Okay. And so I'll do two times 7,500 bucks. Okay. So now I've collected $15,000. However, I need to do it. I am gonna beg, borrow, but not steal, and get my way to this $15,000 cash collected in 30 days or in February. So then all my question now becomes, all right, now I have my target set. Okay. I know I'm going to spend $10,000 or get 200 leads, whichever one comes first. If I get 200 people who are interested in this thing, which I'm offering, the funnel will fall down. Okay. So if I have an email list and I send this email and 200 people say, I want access to that, that's still the same 200 leads. Okay. Now that's why when we have this resource as like those assets, that's why we start with the assets, because it can start to multiply. These are multipliers. So now I have 200 here. Let's say I get 100 here. I get testimonials. I get something there. I have some liquid cash. I get the 200 there. Now I have 300 leads. And essentially, I can get probably, if I'm getting out of two leads, I'm getting 200 leads. I'm getting two customers. I get three customers, right? It's the same number. I don't have to spend any more dollars and get more customers. So if I get that in February, I would have made the $15,000, right? Minus the 10,000 equals 5,000 net. Now, is that net? No, absolutely not. We still have payroll, we still have all the other stuff, right? We still have everything else, but it's okay because I just want to know that I have the customer, and then I can figure out what I need to do, right? I can figure out, okay, now this thing works. Where can I improve upon? And it's really going to be, this is the game for the next 45 28 days or so. I'm going to go on a sprint to figure out how can I get these things as fast as possible. So instead of waiting um the whole month to spend the $10,000, can I spend it in a week and then get the 200 leads, right? Can I front load these 40 appointments? Can I push all this instead of waiting to the end of the month? Can I pull all that closer? And if I can, why don't I just double it now? See what I mean? And how many appointments, right? Who am I going to need? We can talk about that on another day. But right now, all I did right now is just research in my mind. What do I need to do? What do I need to have? What do I need to go after? And then next time we can go through the core marketing system, the core marketing message, the sales page copy, all using AI, so that way we can use our best customers to find our best customers. Now, again, we have already crossed the chasm of eight figures. Now I'm trying to take us to multiple eight figures. And the way we're going to do so is not by doing the same thing over and over and over. We got to do something not radically different, but we do have to create some type of infrastructure where if one process doesn't fully work, we can fall back onto another process. And right now we have one process is working really well for us, but what if it stops working really well, like it did in a couple months, right? A couple months ago, we lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because the process didn't work as well for us. So we need to be able to create this little infrastructure so when the rainy day comes, we have risk mitigation, as they call it. So, anyways, I hope this was helpful for you. Again, I'm just thinking this things out as I'm playing these things out, and probably on my next video, you guys can call me out on it if I don't do it. I'm going to do a marketing thing, the core marketing message, my core essentially marketing persona, and what my like the main offer that I'm going to lead with, the main thing I'm going to say when I'm doing the marketing, so that that way I could test it, and then I'll show you guys how I'm testing it. So, anyways, um, yeah, if you liked it, hit the like and also put a comment here what your biggest takeaway was, or what information did I not cover that you hope I would. So the next time I can. So, anyways, see you on the next one. Bye.